A pleasant good night to each and every one of you. My name is Joshua Benamy. I attend the University of the West Indies Open Campus. Um, I am member of the Group 1, Team Green, MGMT 3110, Corporate Entrepreneurial Management. Tonight we will spend some time and shed a little light on the makeup of the Apple brand. For the sake of navigational purposes, you'll find that a table of contents depicts and has subtitles over the various areas that we cover in our presentation. The members of the Green Team are Brooke Rivera, Charles Madison, and Dwayne Lewis, as well as myself, Joshua Benamy. This presentation is an overview analysis of the Apple company. This document is the result of the collaborative effort of Group 1, aka the Green Team. It embodies the rise of the American multinational corporation Apple. It provides a brief company history and the main products and services offered. It also highlights strategies and utilized to reconstruct the business architecture to spark creativity and innovation. It further provides an impact analysis and recommendations to enhance the organization's entrepreneurial capacity. The history of Apple Incorporated. In 1976, the Apple Computer Company was founded. The brainchild solely, really, was Mr. Steve Jobs. Apple Computer Company was founded in 76, and in 83 to 84 was entered into the Fortune 500. John Sculley became president and CEO also in that year. And Apple aired in 1984 during Super Bowl in 1985. Jobs was forced out of the company. In 1983, Sculley was forced out. In 1987, Steve Jobs returned to Apple with blood in his eyes, to say the least. In 2007, Apple changed their name to Apple Incorporated. In 2011, Tim Cook became president, and he was the successor of the late Steve Jobs. Overview of the organization. Again, founded by high school dropouts, college dropouts, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. These guys wanted to change the world of computing. They wanted to create personal computers that were small enough for home, recreational use, as well as professional use. The Apple I, a desktop computer, was first unveiled on April 1st, 1976. It contained a pre-assembled motherboard, unlike the competition. The Apple II was introduced a year later with an integrated keyboard and expansion capabilities. The company introduced the iconic Macintosh computer in the 1980s. Today, the company's products include the much desired iPhone and iPad. To design, this is their mission and vision, to design the best personal computers, operating systems, and software in the world. To be the leader in the digital music revolution with its devices and platforms. To further revolutionize the mobile phone industry with the iPhone and App Store, as well as redefine the future of mobile media and computing devices with the iPad. Apple is committed to bringing the best personal computing experience for students, educators, creative professionals, and consumers around the world through its innovative hardware, software, and internet offerings. As you can see in our pie share, These are some of the products that Apple um, sells and how much revenue was brought in. As you can see, the Apple iPhone makes up for almost 70% of this pie chart, followed by the iPod, iPad, the Mac, iTunes, and the iPod, and accessories, controlling a smaller share. As of late now, we learn about the Apple Watch. It's pretty popular and striking a chord amongst a lot of young enthusiasts, Apple enthusiasts. Leadership and performance. Apple is viewed as transformative and innovative company. Steve Jobs' leadership propelled the company's market capitalization from US $2 billion to $741 billion, a 37,000% increase in less than 2 decades. Apple's performance continued to surge via its innovative products and unmatched customer loyalty. The growth continued under the guise of new CEO and the successor of Steve Jobs, Tim Cook, with revenues in excess of over $200 billion in net profits of US $45 billion in 2015. So we learned that Steve Jobs pretty much laid down the blueprints of his company, and the Apple brand is so big that it was actually bigger than itself. This brand pretty much took over and is actually a part of his legacy. As you learn more about Steve Jobs, you would see how much of himself he gave to his company, and that's one of the traits of an entrepreneur is, allowing sometimes your personalities and your desire and your passion to be interwoven within your own company. One of the quotes that I came across Mr. Steve Jobs was, "Design is not just what it looks like and what it feels like. It's how it works." So you get just a glimpse inside the mind of Mr. Steve Jobs. And pretty much he is really depicting what the Apple phone or even the Apple product is all about. Another one that I like is innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. And that he wants to put a ding in the universe. It's very airy, but it's just amazing how, the guy almost was like a borderline psychopath and bringing his ideas into fruition. Autocratic style, type of leadership, but really knew how to get the job done. He was a perfectionist, and like a guy said, Mr. Richard Branson, he said that Steve Jobs had a meticulous eye for detail, and his style was autocratic, and he surrounded himself with people on the same mission as him. The guy is a genius, to say the least. So we further learned that Apple's performance continued to surge, its innovative products and unmatched customer loyalty. The growth continued under the new guidance of the new CEO, Tim Cook, with revenues in excess of over $200 billion and net profits of US $45 billion in 2015. By 1983, Apple was in turmoil. Steve Jobs was a hands-on micromanager who cared little about his team's opinions. The poor guy. He just wanted everyone to see what was going on in his head. And as we just depicted his style, he's really hands-on, and if you're not really sharing the vision, Steve Jobs would just blow past you. He was a really focused guy. He knew what he wanted. he just wanted everybody to march on the sound of his beat. In 1985, the first computer with a graphical user interface codenamed Lisa was released, followed by the Macintosh. Both had slow sales, it was kind of sluggish. And later on, we learned about the power struggle between Jobs and the CEO, Scully, and Apple's board supported Scully. Steve Jobs got in trouble with the executive board because they weren't on the same page. So later on, Jobs left Apple for other ventures. Soon after, Scully was fired after several failures and earnings started to hit a downward spiral. Two other CEOs were also fired within the 12 years. Steve Jobs returned in 1987, blood in his eyes, and experience in his back pocket. In 1998, the iMac was launched and became a resounding success. The company's culture shifted to facilitate a human resource focus on innovation and the execution of the company's strategic objectives. As you can see, they were starting to lay the groundwork and becoming very intentional about their success. The company's culture complements its quest for innovation. And 5 features of Apple's culture are excellence, creativity, innovation, secrecy, and moderate combativeness. It sounds like a gladiator sport for making this phone be successful. The company developed intrapreneurship, taking calculated risks to drive and further drive innovation and growth. New venture teams were designed and developed to oversee new ventures to an operational state. Again, becoming very intentional about their success. We're under the impact analysis. The 5 features of Apple's cultures bolstered the company's profile as industry leader. They enabled the company to differentiate its offerings from those of its competitors, a unique value proposition. This provides a competitive advantage and a brand identification. If you don't know about Apple, I don't even know what to say about you. But everybody knows about Apple. So they were very successful in that regard. The focus on secrecy and moderate combativeness provides challenges. Secrecy inhibits employee harmony, and moderate combativeness is inimical to morale. These factors may also increase employee turnover. So you'll find that these kind of situations makes employees not stick around as much. In the last decade, Apple's iPhone has become a must-have productivity tool, and official sales statistics indicate that Apple shipped approximately 1.4 billion iPhones over 10 years, with projections of 1.6 billion units this year. So, a couple of people know about Apple. A couple of people actually approve of it. Just a tiny percentage. The last 10 years could be known as the iPhone decade. Smartphones became ubiquitous, multi-billion-dollar companies were formed, and traditional industries disrupted. They put a few people out of business. You know, like I said, you look at the brand, you look at the guy behind the brand, and you realize that Steve Jobs did a good job of giving himself to this company. The iPhone has influenced the Android ecosystem, improving companies like Samsung. In conclusion, Apple is one of the largest electronics companies in the world, with posted revenues over the 1.8 billion. Further on, its headquarters in the USA. And it continues to be the juggernaut in doing